guys, what's going on? It's KD, and as promised, here's a video about yesterday's meme, the housebreaking bells thing. Here's the situation. Like the meme says, teaching a dog not to go to the bathroom in your house is completely different than teaching a dog to ring a bell to gain access to the outside. That's a fancy way of saying having the dog teach you to open the door when he rings a bell. We'll get into that in a minute. But before you can even think about how you want your dog to give you an obedience command and tell you to open the door, he first has to realize that he should go outside and that you should open the door, right? I mean, let's run with this for a minute. The dog learns that it can make you, notice how I said that, make you open the door to get outside. Well, why would he want to go outside? What would make him say, I have to go to the bathroom, let me make them open the door so I can go outside? That's called housebreaking. That thing that makes him want to go outside. And it's completely different from teaching him to ring a bell. I don't understand what's so difficult about that concept. They're two completely separate things. So how do you housebreak a dog? Well, that's a whole nother topic that I'm not going to get into right now. But teaching a dog to ring a bell doesn't teach a dog not to go to the bathroom in your house. It doesn't. So let's talk about the bells, because everybody who uses bells is either doing one of two things right now. They're being like, screw you, KD, unfollowing me, blocking whatever, and all that other weakness. Or they're right on the edge of their seat kind of going, well, wait a minute, I use bells. What's he about to say about bells? I love the bells. Well, first off, if you use bells, I'm telling you, the bells didn't housebreak your dog. The bells were a way for the dog to tell you to open the door. And that's my first issue, is this concept of, I don't want the dog making those decisions. I want the dog to learn to hold it. Now that makes it my responsibility to make sure I'm a responsible owner and I have him on a strict routine. He's going in and out appropriately and I'm meeting his needs to be able to go outside. But if I never teach him to hold it, what if I'm not there to open the freaking door? He's just gonna shit on the floor. So I gotta teach him that first. So I don't want the dog making these decisions of, well, here, open the door. That leads us not to just a housebreaking issue, that leads us to a little bit of a relationship issue. Now there are some dogs where it might not be a big deal, but there are definitely other dogs where every little millimeter you give them could turn into a mile really quickly. I don't want the dog giving me obedience commands. That is a recipe for problems down the road. And many times you won't see the problems right away, which is why people don't connect the problems that they're having to stuff like that. Listen, it's like when your car goes out of alignment. I know you've heard me use this analogy before, but only because it's incredibly relevant. So you're driving along 75 miles an hour and all of a sudden you feel whoop, 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 right? And you're like, oh no, my car just went out of alignment. No, it didn't just go out of alignment. It's been out of alignment. You just didn't notice it till you were going fast enough. So with little behavioral things like this, you might not notice a problem right away when you're allowing your dog to give you obedience commands and you're following them. But down the road, little things start popping up, and because it's so far removed from some of these other things you're doing that could cause problems, you don't make the connection. Me, I don't even want to cross that bridge. I don't even want to open that door. I said open the door. I totally didn't mean to do that, seriously. I don't want to go there with the dog. Now I know some of you will say, oh, well, KD, I've seen you, show videos of people, your students, yourself, where like the dog sits and then you open the door. Yeah? And what does the dog do after I open the door? Sits there and waits. What does he wait for, KD? For permission to go outside. See, there's a little difference there. I'm still in control of the situation. The dog's just saying, please, that's it. So to recap, one of my issues with the bells is I just don't like situations where dogs are telling me to do something for them. That can lead to problems down the road. Another issue I have with bells is once the dog knows that you'll listen to its obedience command, what's to stop them from wanting to go outside for a million freaking reasons? I've seen this time and time again where someone has a dog trained on bells. And at first they're all excited. And you should be excited when, I guess, your dog trains you to do something. It means your dog's really smart and a really good trainer. So beyond that though, it gets old fast. gets really old fast, especially when the dog keeps ringing the bell and you let him out and then they go outside and they don't go to the bathroom. Seen that happen? So what happens over and over again when the dog goes outside and they don't go to the bathroom? The people stop opening the door. So they go through all this trouble to, work out this bell system, and then they end up letting it melt away because they realize the dog's not just using it for the bathroom, he's using it because there's a squirrel outside, he's using it because he's bored, he's using it maybe just to piss you off. What's the point? I don't understand why you'd want to get into a situation where your dog is giving you obedience commands and you're listening. I don't understand why you'd want to create a situation where now the dog is kind of just doing whatever they want, going outside for every reason other than why you implemented this system. How about this? How about you housebreak the dog and then let them out on a schedule? When you make that choice, be responsible, get them outside as much as they need, but that's it. Housebreaking a dog is totally different than having a dog telling you it wants to go outside by ringing a bell and you being a good little owner and running out there and opening the door, following those obedience commands so well. It's not complicated, but then again, nothing in dog training is complicated, which is why people struggle so much with it. All right, guys, wasn't a long one, but I promised I'd make a video for you. And I think I'm going to do that more often. With these memes, I'm going to pose a question to you. And if you want me to explain it, drop something down in the comments. Right now, when you watch this video, drop something down in the comments. Let me know what you think. If this bothered you, feel free to tell me. But be prepared for an objective answer that'll be full of truth and might expose even more of your emotion. You're warned. Drop your ego before you pick up that leash, people. See ya.